incident involving the young Oiler defenseman and the Sharks after what happened in Edmonton 16 days ago. With, of course, Nurse attacking, essentially, Roman Polak, after Nurse mistakenly thought that Polak had intended to injure Matt Hendricks of the Oilers. The replay showed otherwise, but not having the benefit of replay at the time, Nurse took it into his own hands. It ended up costing him dearly. He was suspended for 3 games, lost a lot of money. We'll see if it's over and done with or not.
App toolbar address and search bar.
The Oilers.
Volume decreased to 7.
The save as the Sharks.
Volume decreased to 35.
He comes across the line with Thornton and Tomas Hertl trailing as well. Sharks coming off.
Magnified is finished. Loading complete. Zoom out through. Reset through.
Final score.
Toggle button.
1-0.
Skip navigation button. YouTube button. Search.
Goaltending by Brian Elliott. Sharks played well. They just couldn't beat Elliott, who had a great night in goal for the Blues. So the Sharks,
2017.
if they win, or if Arizona loses to Dallas in regulation tonight, and they're scoreless in the first period in Glendale, or if the Sharks get just 1 point in this game and Arizona loses in any fashion. So there's a number of scenarios for the Sharks to get in tonight.
Now, the scenario I'm most interested in is the Sharks gaining a point on the Anaheim, potentially 2 on the LA Kings.
This link opens in Newtown.
And it's just
Game center button.
Oh, they have lost. It's official. Perfect.
4-1.
More button. Add a comment. No one kick edit.
In over.
Subscribe to Red like this video along with
4-1. So
keyboard show. Keyboard. First slider. YouTube video player group. Audacity window recording.
which still hold
English American Samoa sound recorder window.
They can also
sound window button off.
3 points.
Settings window more sound settings group. Help with sound. Volume group adjust the out.
keys to victory.
Show all settings button.
The Oilers
Search box. Find a setting. Edit. System 2 of 12 level 1. Bluetooth. System 2. Network. System 2. Network. Apps. Time. Gaming. Accessibility 10 of. Accessibility. Vision. Heading level 2 1 of. Text size 1 of 8. Vision. Color filters. Colorful umbrellas 2 of. Rain. Colorful umbrellas. Accessibility 10 of 12. Color filter. Colorful umbrellas 9 with.
Nick Spaulding wins the
Colorful
face.
9 accessibility. Breadcrumb bar item 1 of 2. Color filters. Accessibility.
As the Sharks take
Color
on the
filters.
Oilers.
Toggle switch off. Show all settings.
Part of a road trip for
Enter English American.
Edmonton. In fact,
YouTube video
play the California teams.
For 60 minutes. They're going to win this hockey game. Second one.
7 of the season. First in and about it, losing Connor McDavid.
Settings window. Color filters group. 9 wedge color wheel. Accessibility. Accessibility. Color filter preview group. 9 wedge color. Keyboard shortcut. Themes group. More button. Get help. Back button. Desiree Pep and Desiree Pep. Search. Accessibility. Accessibility. Vision. Heading level 2. Tech. Visual. Mouth. Tech. Mic. Contract. Narrator 8 of 8 level.
Now the foundation.
Complete guide to narrator.
The details and habits.
Show all setting. Show all setting.
Excellent.
Narrator key group. Show all. Touch keyboard. Narrator's voice group. Narrator audio output device. Default audio device. Combo. Lower the volume of other apps when narrator audio output device. Speakers. Real tech.
37 games. Nugent Hopkins.
Default audio device. Lower the volume of other apps when narrator is.
Leads their team in ice time. Has missed 46. Andrew Farron's a key veteran defense. 7 games.
Matters worth.
That's why one of the main reasons they're sitting where they are in the standings.
And making matters worse, Brian Nugent Hopkins was hurt the other night in Arizona when the Oilers lost 4-2 to the Desert Dogs, and he's out. As McDavid streaking down the wing, tried to feed it to the San Jose goal crease. It's taken back by Brent Burns. The Sharks on the attack here in the first period. Each team with a shot so far. As Thornton steers it back to the point, a shot by Paul Martin, knocked down by Talbot, and then he'll throw it. There's Michael Haley, and that he gets the, and they do in fact get it out of the way early.
You still can next year. There's always next year if the time is there.
What you don't want to do is lose one of your top 6 defensemen with a broken finger going into the playoffs, or worse. So that sidebar story is no longer one in Polak. 6 defensemen with a broken finger going into the playoffs.
You still can next year. There's always next year if the time is there.
What you don't want to do is lose one of your top 6 defensemen with a broken finger going into the playoffs. or worse.
It's always next year. The time. You still can next year. There's always next year if the time is there.
What you don't want to do is lose one of your top 6.
John do the goal takes
Makes this
from me, but he never. There you go. Great.
the others, and Braun was able to get it away from Taylor Hall. Pavelski sends it down the boards. Hurdle there, but Clendenning sends it to the other side. Now Thornton will tip by Pavelski. And Thornton comes in to help out Pavelski behind the net. DeMello, a wrist shot, blocked by Hall, and back out into the neutral zone. Still waiting on the scoring play on the San Jose goal. Sure looked like Polak's. Unless Donskoy got his stick in there on it. Now cleared down by the Oilers. Reimer comes out of the San Jose net. Hands it off to DeMello. Maroon's there, but the Sharks get it back. And it's sent down the wing for Donskoy.
That's being traded from Anaheim at the deadline, and he missed the last game in Arizona battling the flu. He's back in there tonight.
Martin ahead for Donskoy. And that'll be back to the Oiler defense. Number 82, Jordan Oesterle. First look we've had of Oesterle this season, up from the American Hockey League Oilers team in Bakersfield. It is Polak's goal, the second from Spaulding and Wingels at 3:40. And that'll be back to the Oiler defense. Number 82, Jordan Oesterle. Now Oilers won their first meeting with the Sharks this year. Todd McClellan's first game against his old club. That was December 9th in Edmonton. In overtime, Taylor Hall the winner. Here's Tierney, wants Ward. Tries a second time, and stolen again by the Oilers. From Reinhart back there with a couple of nice plays down at the goal line next to his net.
Yeah, just from San Jose standpoint, get that forecheck, establish it here in the first period, put some pressure, and don't give this Oilers team any hope that they're in for a close game. Take it to them all night long.
Katarinen sending it in for Edmonton. Here's Polak. Nice crisp pass out to Nick Spaulding. Wingels darts across the line, plays it to the net, and Talbot with a stick save. Luke Gazdic dressed for the Oilers tonight. Tough center iceman number 20. Not sure if he was going to get into the lineup, but I think when the Sharks dressed Haley, Gazdic drew in for Todd McClellan. Now Edmonton comes through the neutral zone. One of the real bright spots this year, Leon Draisaitl, number 29. Now Taylor Hall playing on this line with Draisaitl and Zach Cassian tonight. He gets first line duty here, number 44. Thornton ahead for Hurdle. Tried to go back to Pavelski with it, but it's blocked by Hall. Cassian back for Draisaitl. And Thornton coming back to get it back up ice for the Sharks. Hurdle to Ward. Sharks in the middle of a line change. Tomas Hurdle puts on the brakes, gets it back out to Martin. Wanted Burns, now gets it to him. Shoots, rebound, Ward on the backhand. Couldn't put it past Talbot. And now it's McDavid for the Oilers. Here's Connor McDavid. He's going to get Calder votes for sure as Rookie of the Year, but the question is, has he played enough to win it over Artemi Panarin, for example, in Chicago, who's had the whole year, has had that great season playing with the Chicago Blackhawks. Everly and his backhander saved by Reimer. Now from behind the net, Maroon trying to pull his way to the front. Can't. Back to Everly. And now Maroon with McDavid. Reimer has the post. And now some extracurriculars. Some tension in the air. It starts with a Haley Darnell nurse bout. Followed up by Roman Polak's first as a charge. Primary assist leader. Followed up by Roman Polak's first as a charge. Primary assist leaders among rookies in the NHL. We mentioned Artemi Panarin of the Blackhawks. He leads the list with 23. Look a little down there. There's Jan.26. 15 primary assists for Donskoy of his 34 points in his rookie year, and McDavid next at 14.
Yeah, and McDavid only playing 39 games, and that's amazing just to see Jonas Donskoy there. His improved play over the course of this season. Boy, emotions are very raw down here at ice level, Randy. Lots of work there. His improved play over the course of this season. Boy, emotions are very raw down here at ice level, Randy. Lots of words at that last break. Patrick Maroon was hot with Brendan Dillon. Boy, emotions are very raw down here at ice level, Randy. Lots of words at that last break. Patrick Maroon was hot with Brendan Dillon. Michael Haley came back. He told Maroon, I'll go with you. I'll dance. There's all this Star Wars spirit here tonight.
It is Star Wars night here at SAP Center. Speaking of stars, McDavid sending it in. And now Nurse out of the box after serving his 5 minutes with Haley. Back out there on the Oiler defense. And Nurse is a good player. He's going to be, you would think, a big part of the Oiler defense going forward. An area they definitely have to vastly improve. And they're probably going to have to make a trade if they want to improve it anytime soon.
Yeah, this team, I think, will change, I don't want to say drastically this summer, but Pietrelli is not scared to pull the trigger. And I think the general manager and the coaching staff have gotten to see a lot of the personnel in the organization this year with the injuries. Lots of guys have been brought up from Bakersfield. And I think it's going to be a different team next year.
Chiarelli, the general manager of the Oilers. Burns. And that's knocked down by Osterley. Burns will try again. This time the entry pass to Hurdle. It's there. Back to Burns, and he fires one that's blocked by Fane. Burns again. That's just wide. And it's jabbed out of there by Yakupov. Right back to Brent Burns.
San Jose just looks a little more organized away from the puck right now. And because of it, you're seeing them. They are attacking in layers. Quick passes are creating some quick scoring chances.
Talbot out of his net. He's going to need help getting this thing out. Wingle steals it from Cassian on the boards. Now Haley. Trying to spin off Fane. Nice move by Haley. Haley brings it to the goal line and now back up top. Brendan Dillon. He'll send it deep again. Spalling. Shadowed by Fane. Down goes Spalling. Fane vaults over him. And this is going to be icing against Edmonton. Good. Gear up for the push to the playoffs at sjteamshop.com. There are several exclusive items available only online, but act now. Quantities are limited on those exclusive items. Visit sjteamshop.com today.
Good shift there by Michael Haley. Sharks fourth line, Spalling and Tommy Wingles.
Zach Cassian just got a penalty.
Yeah, he went up to Brendan Dillon after the whistle, and I think it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct.
Cassian leads the Oilers in penalty minutes this year. He's got 90, and it is unsportsmanlike. You are correct, sir. So, with a 1-0 lead, the Sharks go on the power play for the first time, and it'll be a Cache Creek power play.
Now, that didn't look like much, and it wasn't much, but that's the referee right now trying to settle things down and sending a message to both teams. We're going to start whistling you guys, and none of the stuff after the whistles, play between the whistles. That's what that penalty is all about.
Yeah, they read the temperature of the game pretty well, these officials. Here's Marlowe, and Pavelski will get hold of it. Steer it off to the wing for Burns. Thornton turns away. Now to Couture. Logan, Thornton, back to Couture, and he one-times it wide.
This top power play unit trying to get clicking.
Thornton, back around for Couture. They're keeping it low right now. Here's Pavelski, walks in, he scores! turns away. Now to Couture. Logan, Thornton, back to Couture, and he one-times it wide.
This top power play unit trying to get clicking.
Thornton, back around for Couture. They're keeping it low right now. Here's Pavelski, walks in, he's got it!
Unit trying to get clicking. Why did stop it right for Cam Talbot?
Yakupov here, as in the neutral zone, Donskoy knocked down. A little slow to get up, but he's back up. Now Sekera to the front of the net, and that's cleared away. Korpikoski or Nail Yakupov. Yakupov hands it off for Nurse. Nurse getting it back for Sekera. This is Mark Letestu for Edmonton. Quick shot. Korpikoski has it blocked. Brendan Dillon back there. Taken away by Yakupov. And Melker Karlsson now to center, and he'll send it in for a line change.
We saw a nice little flash of skill, brilliance from Nail Yakupov, and what the coaching staff for Edmonton is trying to do is get him to do that more when he doesn't have the puck, and which is 95-98% of the time in the NHL.
Yakupov, one of the 4 first overall picks that the Oilers have on their roster, and he probably has not panned out in a big way more than any of the other 3. Obviously, McDavid being one of those. The others are Hall and Nugent Hopkins. Who's hurt tonight. He
hasn't quite figured out the NHL game, playing away from the puck, 3 zones, the importance of defense.
Here's Everly, and Reimer with the save has the post covered, and he'll hold it to be back. Hard to imagine if they're going to make big changes in Edmonton, and he'll hold it there. Hard to imagine.
There. Eberle, Nugent Hopkins, Hall, Yakupov. I think the new core is coming through. Is going to be around Connor McDavid, Draisaitl. You talked about Darnell Nurse. Depending on who they, where they are.
Klefbom, who you mentioned, and who is hurt. Talbot, obviously, in goal.
And depending on where they are in the draft this year, in the lottery. So
it's, as last year, it was a foregone conclusion that Connor McDavid was going to go first. Same this year with Austin Matthews, as Wingles gets his way to the net. And he lost his footing going through the crease.
Wingles 4th in the NHL in penalties drawn per 60 minutes. We just saw why. Driving the net.
Here's Haley. Osterley steals it, gets it back up for Draisaitl. Sharks have it again. Nice work by DeMello as he looked off Taylor Hall. Now Tierney across the line, lost the puck. Cassian hands it back, and Gazdic will lob it into the corner. And Gazdic is going to the penalty box. Luke Gazdic going to get the holding call right there.
Right there on
Draft pick, Gazdic. And he's a 2-time Olympian now with Team USA. Most recently in Sochi a couple of seasons ago. 8 times in the playoffs. A 41-goal season 2 years ago. That's his career high. And, of course, at the start of this year, named as the 12th captain in the history of the team. What a career.
Yeah, I got 2 sets of coaches here that have coached this guy in the NHL. Todd McCall and his staff on the left, and Pete DeBoer on my right, and they love him. There's 29 other teams that would love to have Joe Pavelski. Both coaches have said, Pavelski's the type of guy, his hockey sense is it's off the charts. He's so smart. You tell him something once, could be on the plane, it doesn't matter where it is, he's going to figure it out, he'll apply it, whether it's on the bench, next shift, or between games, he'll figure it out and he'll do it the next game.
I'm not sure in what language it would be, but Pavelski has to translate the winner in some language. Maybe Polish. Sharks power play back on the ice. They have 1 goal. That was Pavelski's, and here he is. Trying to get it to Burns, but it ends up on Thornton's stick. That'll work.
That's all right.
And And now Burns has it. Puck skips to him. He gets it flat. Shot by Pavelski, and Talbot got just a little bit of that with his glove. Thornton. And back to Pavelski's side of the ice. Couture for Burns. Just a stab at that to knock it down over to Marlowe. And now back to Pavelski. They work it side to side here. Now Thornton. On the move is Burns. And he shot it just wide, and it'll rim wide all the way out to the blue line.
I was cheering for Burns to score there because after that keep-in that he swatted out of midair, he deserved the goal.
Pavelski now on this side. Nurse has got him tied up. Donskoy trying to work it up top to the point. Oilers penalty killers dig in. Burns has it. Thornton still hanging down behind the goal line. Back up top to Burns. Tried to go through the defender. Pecorino, and that didn't work. Now the Sharks will change up, get the second unit on for about the last half minute of the power play here. 4 minutes to go in the opening period. 2-0 Sharks. Goals by Roman Polak and Joe Pavelski. Dylan DeMello to Joel Ward. Hurdle now. They spread it out a little bit. Donskoy, DeMello, and Martin. Shoots it, tipped, and a chance at the side for Hurdle. Then he tried to wrap it around. Gasnick's out of the box. Power play's over. Hurdle with a great opportunity, just couldn't wrap it all the way to the net. Ward and Nurse trying to stay right close to Jonas Donskoy, which is a good idea, as crafty as he is. Hurdle shot, and Talbot with the glove save.
I like the Sharks the way their puck retrieval has just been tremendous in this power play, and you can see a good chance, and then Hurdle tries to corral that rebound. He wants to try and pull it over, and I'm not sure how. I think the defenseman might have swatted it down behind the net, but some good looks from both units, both power play units. Talbot with a couple of good saves. His best might have actually been on that Pavelski shot. It was a seeing eye shot, just went off the edge of the glove of Talbot.
Talbot saw a ton of work last year for the New York Rangers, backing up Henrik Lundqvist when he was injured. And the Oilers targeted him as their guy. There's Draisaitl. Back in the corner against Braun. And he plays it up the middle right to Malcolm Karlsson. They'll go across center and lob it into the corner. Oilers traded for Talbot. Dillon. And that save by Talbot dropped, and he had Karlsson right there. Cassian kept Karlsson away from that loose puck.
Yeah, Todd McClellan has said he's liked Talbot here the last couple of months when he wasn't injured. He's been tremendous for this hockey team. And Sharks, good job getting the puck deep and getting shots to that. And that's talking about getting screen, getting in the goalie's eyes. And I don't know if Talbot ever saw it. I think he felt it, and then he did a good job of hunting it down before Melker Karlsson got on the found that loose rebound. But good job by Melker getting in front of the net.
Sharks win the draw. Burns and Thornton for Pavelski. He'll skate to it. Hurdle back to the line. Burns couldn't hold it in. Sharks will need to tag up here as Griffin Reinhart sends it across. Sharks out shooting Edmonton 11-2. Maroon. And now Eberle in a backhand block by Hurdle. McDavid sets it up, and Reimer the save off Reinhardt's slap shot.
This has been the one line that's had some offensive zone time. Not surprising, Connor McDavid with Jordan Eberle, Patrick Maroon on the left side. And we're taking a look at number 97 right there. He's someone you got to come and watch, see live. He can motor out there. Hard to believe someone that young can skate that fast. Makes plays at top speed.
7 assists in his last 5 games for Connor McDavid, so he's on a streak right now. But the Oilers are winding down their season. They are actually, at least going into tonight, they were the only team in the Western Conference that had been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Well, Toronto's winning overtime now. They've dropped to 30th spot in the league. Well, we got 4 games after tonight, too, Edmonton.
Tierney. And the Oilers emerge with the puck. Pollock, though, gets it back at the point. He has one of the 2 goals, Roman does. Tierney. Going to shake off Korpikoski. For Ward. And it deflects away. Dillon comes across. And Ward will play it back across the Edmonton blue line. Sharks playing game 4 of the 6-game homestand. Going to be fun on Saturday. No Tyler Seguin. He's still out with the Achilles injury for Dallas. But the Stars come in. They're in a battle to try and win the Central Division while the Sharks are in their own race to try and catch Anaheim and LA in the Pacific. Going to be a 1 p.m. game on Saturday with the Dallas Stars here. We'll be on the air at 12:30. Chance for Braun. He's in deep. Now back to Wingles, and he gets crossed up with Couture. Tommy Wingles back. Gives it for Dylan DeMello, who continues to fill in admirably for the injured Marc-Edouard Vlasic, missing his 4th game with a lower body injury. Same story for Nieto, out for a 4th game with his hand injury. Both on the mend, unexpected back soon, day to day, no timetable. And Matt Tennyson continues to recover from the injury he suffered on that hit from St. Louis's Ryan Reeves earlier in the month. Shot kicked out by Reimer, who has not had a whole lot of work, but when he's had it, he's been perfect. And we've come to the end of the first period here at SAP Center. Roman Pollock has his first goal as a San Jose Shark. Pavelski hits the 35-goal mark. Sharks with a 2-goal lead. On the Ram Intermission Report, Pavelski hits the 35-goal mark. Sharks with a 2-goal lead. On the Ram Intermission Report, Brody Brazil and Curtis Brown standing by. From the Sportsnet Central studio, we'll check in with them. And Kevin Kerr, Sharks Insider, will be here with a Marc-Edouard Vlasic injury update.
We remind you, it's Star Wars night at SAP Center. Get ready for the cutest thing you might see all evening. A young Chewbacca there. Is that Kylo Ren? You might want to stay away from him, kid. As we get you now back to the rink, here's Jamie Baker with defenseman Roman Pollock.
Well, these are the defensemen in the NHL who lead in plus-minus since January 7th. And that gentleman, Paul Martin of the Sharks, is the league leader since January 7th, a plus 21. And a couple of his teammates are on the list of the top 6 as well. Brent Burns and the injured Marc-Edouard Vlasic, both plus 14.
We talk so much about the Sharks' offense. 3rd or 4th best in the NHL. They talk about the goaltending tandem, and that stat going back to early January speaks volumes about what I believe, Randy, is an underrated defensive core, which is exciting heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, you keep going back to, Jamie, to the additions this season to the team. Paul Martin, look at the difference he's made, and what a perfect fit to help Brent Burns on his way to what is a career year and a best-ever Sharks year by a defenseman. Joel Ward, a 20-goal year, something he hasn't done in a while, and so on and so on, even down to Roman Pollock, James Reimer, Nick Spaulding. All these pieces added at the beginning of the year, over the summer, and along the way have all made big contributions.
I would say, let's get the playoffs going tomorrow, but I'm kind of looking forward to watching this stretch drive to see where the final placings end up. You know, San Jose's chasing those 2 teams from SoCal, and if San Jose comes out with a win tonight, gets 2 points, they're right in the mix for top spot in the Pacific.
Wouldn't it be something if on Monday night, first place is on the line when the Sharks host the Kings?
I like the way you're thinking, Andy. You're thinking ahead.
Here's Tomas Hertl for the Sharks, and he'll get it up top for Justin Braun. Trouble there, and Taylor Hall gets it across, and a save by Reimer as Hall with the perfect dish to Yakupov. And the Oilers get a scoring chance here early in period 2.
Well, good scoring chance for the Oilers, but the Sharks defense, they did a good job of forcing Yakupov just to his backhand, and he wasn't in a deep situation, and made an easier time, if you will, for James Reimer.
Now Everly for Edmonton. He'll steer it deep. And Connor McDavid first to the puck. Over to Patrick Maroon. Everly, more often than not, has been on the ice with McDavid as a line mate this year when McDavid's been healthy and available. Osterley sends it back behind the net. Wants Maroon, but DeMello's there. Maroon fights him off, gets it to the side. McDavid partially fans on it, had it blocked, gets it back now from Reinhart. McDavid off the boards. Down for Maroon. Everly posted up in front. Maroon takes the shot. Reimer knocks it down and covers.
And you talk about Everly playing with McDavid, but one of the reasons Maroon was brought to Edmonton is one, his size, 6'2", 230 pounds. He's got a good net drive and presence, but he's played with elite players before. When he was in Anaheim, he found himself occasionally on the top line with Getzlaf and Perry. And that was a good shift by Edmonton's young trio and getting the puck deep. A little wraparound opportunity for Maroon. Good save by Reimer.
Well, Jamie, upon further review, there has been a scoring change. As this puck goes in the net, there's a scoring change. It's 2-1.
A little wraparound opportunity for...
As this puck goes in the net, there's a scoring change. It's 2-1.
And it's 1-0 Oilers.
This is a crazy deflection. Off somebody in front of the Sharks net, beats Reimer. Korpikoski's going to get the goal. It's 2-1.
Clendening, the defenseman, number 27. He gets the puck, takes one quick step. Clendening, the defenseman, number 27. He gets the puck, takes one quick step, quick shot, and yeah, I think Lori Korpikoski, look at him going to the front of the net, number 28. Yep, he redirects it right in front of Burns. Good hand-eye coordination.
I thought it hit him and went in, but he deflects it in.
Oh, he reached out, very Joe Pavelski-like, and win a face-off, get a puck and a body to the net. Good things can happen. They just did for the Oilers.
Nice goal by Korpikoski to make it 2-1. Now Marleau back down into the Edmonton zone. See if the Sharks can respond with a strong shift coming back after the goal. I was going to say they've taken the goal from Roman Polak. Instead, it's Wingels who deflected it in. So it's Wingels' seventh from Polak and Spaulding. Here's a chance, and backdoor Brent Burns just missed. Tierney trying to center. And Ward can't get it back cleanly to Brendan Dillon. Here's Hall with Cassian for Edmonton. And it's cleaned up from the front of the net by Polak. Korpikoski with the Edmonton goal, his 10th. Clendening and Letestu, the assist at 139. Polak. And now Michael Haley. Haley skating on this line tonight with Wingels and Spaulding. Nina Super's getting the night off.
Trying to beat Brent Burns' stick right now. He just came off the ice and he gave it a nasty look. We're not putting that home.
Wingels battling Sakura as Draisaitl sends it up the middle of the ice. The lead for Polak. And now Thornton across center with Pavelski on his right. Driving the net is Hurdle. And the pass by Pavelski blocked by Reinhart. And now it's out of play onto the San Jose bench.
And we're going to show you why Brent Burns is mad at his stick. And the Sharks with a good zone entry. Look at that little indirect pass from Ward. Tierney, nice setup right across the crease. And then Burns to the left-hand side. Now to the right. He just doesn't get it. You can see it. He just toes it. And more often than not, he's going to put that home.
Now Osterley. Oilers on the attack again here. Maroon with Everly. Thornton with a steal. Comes back to the net. And Reimer makes a save. And then a second off Everly. Maroon to McDavid. Osterley sends it back behind the net. And it's McDavid recovering it out of the corner and back to the point. Down low Maroon. And Everly Everly to his forehand, band on him. McDavid takes it, brings it out front. A one-timer by Osterley, saved by Reimer.
Yeah, Osterley, he wants that one back. All he has to do is go upstairs, and he had time to get it upstairs.
Osterley bidding for his first ever NHL goal there.
Now Sharks a little sloppy in the defensive zone. McDavid comes around, dishes it right on his tape. You got to go top corner. You could see both Thornton and Hurdle get caught. And Osterley jumps in. He played 3 years at Western Michigan. Plays a relatively simple game. Smart player. Not the biggest player out there. He's only 6 foot, a little over 180 pounds, but handles pressure well. This is because of the injuries to Edmonton's defense, he's getting a good look here with the big club.
Couture now. Braun in traffic. And Hendricks will clear it back to center ice. Donskoy, trouble with it. Now he's got to keep Gatzik from the puck, and he did. Donskoy back with it now on the attack. Challenging the Oiler defenseman Glendening. DeMello one-timer, and that was blocked by the skate of Joel Ward. And now Matt Hendricks gives for Darnell Nurse. Nurse, nice move, plays the backhand to the goal. Reimer's got it as Gazdic jabs away at it. But it's saved by the Sharks netminder. Join Sharks 365 and guarantee yourself playoff tickets. You can also take advantage of the pay-as-we-play playoff plan and utilize the extended payment plan option. Join the club today at sjsharks.com/sharks365. James Reimer, a 3-1 record in goals since joining the club from the Toronto Maple Leafs in a trade deadline deal that brought a lot of smiles to the faces of Sharks fans, especially after they saw Reimer's body of work through the first month of play almost now. And 2 shutouts for Reimer so far. Look at the goals against coming in. Save percentage outstanding.
Yeah, those numbers are absolutely phenomenal. And as important are those numbers are the rest that Martin Jones is getting. He was carrying the burden here over a tough stretch for the San Jose Sharks. And he is rested and ready to go down the stretch and into the playoffs.
As far as back-to-backs go, the Sharks have only one left. They will play LA here, as we mentioned, on Monday night, and the next night play in Vancouver. And after that, at least a day off between games down the stretch heading toward the postseason. Last game is April 9th here against Arizona. That was supposed to be the last day of the season in the NHL, but a day had to be added to make up games that were postponed due to weather earlier in the winter. So we won't know the full playoff schedule until the evening now of April 10th, following those last games, which in fact could even impact the matchup. Anaheim plays that last day. Osterley for the Oilers. They have the only goal of the second period from Lori Korpikoski to cut into the Sharks' lead. It's 2-1. And Edmonton has certainly settled down here in this middle period, Jamie.
And speaking of second period, I don't see Melker Carlson on the bench, Randy, so I'm not sure what it is. I don't think it's equipment, so I don't know if he got shaken up, but Sharks down to 11 forwards right now.
Carlson starting the game on the line with Donskoy and Couture. And that's the line on the ice right now. Well, at least in the middle of the change it was, as Donskoy and Haley came off. So Haley was filling Carlson's spot on that shift. McDavid can't get to the net. Well defended by Martin. And Hurdle will give it back for Brent Burns. Even though the Oilers are 30th in the NHL, this is the NHL. As Anaheim found out tonight against the Leafs, who aren't going to the playoffs. You can't take anybody for granted in this league, as Toronto beat the Ducks 6-5. We'll be back here at
When he came back from the lineup, the Sharks just had swatted everybody. And last time these teams met, about seven or 8 games ago, in Edmonton, it was Logan Couture. Got the team going early in the game, going to the net. I like this play on the power play. No hesitation. Actually went off the side of the mask to the far corner. 2-goal output from Logan Couture. Hasn't scored since that game. He'd love to light the lamp here tonight.
Has an assist in this one on the Pavelski power play goal. giving him 29 points in 44 games played. Justin Braun. And that's taken back by Andrei Sekera, the Oilers' leading scorer on defense. 6 goals, 27 points this year for Sekera. Signed as a free agent. Mark Fane tracked down by Thornton, and then Fane got his stick up. And I thought that got Joe a little high. Referee right there. Apparently didn't see it, Mike Lego, or maybe it didn't catch Thornton in the face.
Well, I agree. Well, something happened because Thornton came up. He took his glove off. He was holding his face. Let's just get a look right. Yeah, his stick came up just a little bit. See Thornton's reaction. The referee, I think maybe the one referee didn't really get a great angle on it just because Thornton was.
And Thornton and Lego are having a conversation across ice right now.
Yeah, they are. A tough period for Lego, the referee, as he got flagged down by Todd McClellan when he got to the bench here to start this period. McClellan wanted further explanation on the penalty to Zach Cassian on that after that icing. Sharks scored on the ensuing power play.
Ward fishing it out of some skates, gets it to Marlowe, who gives it to Hall. Hall scores! Taylor Hall picked Patrick Marlowe's pocket and put it in.
Further explanation on the penalty to Zach Cassian on that after that icing. Sharks scored on the ensuing power play.
Ward
scored on the ensuing power play.
Ward fishing it
on the ensuing power play.
Ward fishing it out of some skates, gets it to Marlowe, who gives it to Hall. Hall
take away the angle.
Maroon back for Darnell Nurse, and his shot block gets it right back to McDavid, but through his skates. Loading up his Clendening, he scores. And
opponents creates a little chaos at the goalie.
Scores his from Reinhardt. Minutes and 25 seconds.
Joe, and you said it, Randy. You got to maintain that focus.
Give it up at center to dump the ice. Maroon. And there is a slashing. Ties it up.
Opponents
will get an assist.
Turnover play.
For the second period. The Oilers lead.
Unbelievable.
Block gets it right back to McDavid, but through his skates. Loading up his Clendening, he scores.
Oh, he scores.
The Oilers lead.
Drake Pengula. Oilers lead.
Adam Clendening with a wrist shot from the point beats Reimer.
Goal of the night.
Well, the Sharks
point beats Reimer.
Well, the Sharks have made this game a lot tougher than they could have. They came out flat here in the second period. And there's a screen. You can see Reimer. He didn't pick it up to the last second. Clendening, who got an assist on the first goal, goes far side, top corner. Maroon just tosses it back, low to high. Simple execution, folks. Win the battles down low in the corner. Kick it back to the D. Quick shots to the net. Attack the net. Get traffic. You get one or two guys there. That's going to draw one or two or maybe three opponents. Creates a little chaos. If the goalie doesn't see it, the placement is right, it's going to go in the net. That's exactly what happened. Sharks unbelievably trail 3-2 right now. We're just about to hit the halfway mark of the second period.
Adam Clendening picked up on waivers from Pittsburgh back.
Exactly what happened. Sharks unbelievably trail 3-2 right now. We're just about to hit the halfway mark of the second period.
Adam Clendening picked up on waivers from Pittsburgh back at the end of January. Scores his first goal of the year.
8 points.
And it caps off a 3-goal-in-a-row run here by the Oilers.
We're
now in front 3-2. And the Sharks have not had a good second period, really from the drop of the puck. They just, as you said, Jamie, came out flat.
Second key tonight was maintain focus and intensity for 60 minutes. And they forgot that at the start of this period.
Gillen. And now Roman Polak. Tomas Hertl takes it, crosses the blue line. Takes a big hit from Reinhart. And a stoppage here. Oilers in front, 3-2. It is stoppage here.
2 goals.
Oilers in front, 3-2. As I say her name, you can register to win at csncalifornia.com. Congratulations, Mary Duckworth and friend. The Sharks give up 2 goals in 45 seconds, 3 in 7 minutes and 25 seconds. Jamie, in this second period, the Sharks have been outshot 8-1.
73rd point.
Well, this Edmonton team, and Todd McClellan talked about it, and he's talked about it in recent days. He's been happy with the work ethic. Yeah, they've made some mistakes. They've got some injuries to some key players, but it's a proud group that wants to win. They're 7-6 in their last 13 games, so they're not packing it in. The bottom line is the Sharks are a veteran team. They're a deeper team. They're a healthier team, and they need to. But in the NHL, and you said it, Randy, you got to maintain that focus. You got to keep those legs turning. You got to be working hard. There's no nights off.
You saw Joe Thornton there just before the face-off, chatting with the referee again, all about that non-call on the high stick that Thornton thought he should have gotten. See, there was some agreement there. At least Joe saying, "Okay, I'm moving on." You can see the officials communicating with the players in that manner. Here's Patrick Marleau with speed down the left side. It's saved by Talbot. After Bob gave it up at center to Spalling. Couture turns trying to get into the zone with it, but Taylor Hall had a step on him who gives it away. Loose in front. Great chance there. Sharks just couldn't convert. Here's Clendenning back the other way. An odd man rush with Hall. Good job by Nick Spalling to take down Hall. Oilers keep it in. Couture gets it away from McDavid. Here's Logan into the Edmonton zone. Sharks trying to tie it back up. They've given up 3 unanswered goals here in this period. Burns, he can't handle it. And McDavid almost busted up the ice. And we'd have seen his world-class speed there, no doubt. As it is, Brent Burns trying to shield the puck and keep it away from Maroon, and he got it.
Good job there by Burns. Fighting off Maroon and kicking the puck into the corner to a safe area.
Thornton. Cummins with the puck. Now Burns up top, back for Marleau on the board. Thornton behind the goal line now. Marleau in front. Saved by Talbot. Rebound, they score! Marleau in front. Saved by Talbot. Rebound, they score!
He scores!
Patrick Marleau ties it up.
Cuts the Oilers lead to 2-1.
Keep your eye on Marleau. One whack, and then he hunts it down and finds it a second time. Puts it underneath the right leg of Talbot. Little spin move shot. There's the first save. It goes off with the skate of fame. Couture fighting for it. Hendricks comes in, ties up Couture's stick, and Marleau gets his open. And you can see it right there, and then slides underneath. That's one Talbot would love to have back, because you want to have both pads and your stick on the ice to take away the bottom part of the net. He doesn't. Marleau capitalizes.
So Marleau makes up for his mistake on the boards earlier in the period on the goal by Hall. You love to see that. A veteran player bouncing back after a bad thing happens. Marleau makes a good thing happen. A power play goal is 21st of the year, and it's 3-3. Thornton and Burns get the assist. That's 2 points tonight for Joe Thornton. And it was
Good. Something's over. He's going to be a...
news on the Jumbotron of Thornton tying Recchi all time. Pavelski trying to get across, but Maroon has it for Edmonton. To Clendenning. front. Handled by the Oiler defense, and now up for Jordan Eberle. Burns got it away from the defenseman Darnell Nurse, who, if you joined us late, had a scrap with Michael Haley early in the game that immediately followed it with a goal by Wingles. Burns with a steal in front of his own net, and he will flip it out of danger. Korpikoski. Back to Burns. Korpikoski giving chase. The reverse to Martin. Now Marleau. Ward will get it deep. Marleau into the corner with Fane. Ward trying to find it. Gets it away to Couture. He puts it on net. Saved by Talbot. And Ward just couldn't get enough on that backhand shot from the rebound, as Kassian throws it across the ice for Edmonton. DeMello checked from behind by Kassian as he wheeled that puck up ice, and a penalty to the Oilers, and they are putting themselves in harm's way here. They've given up the tying goal, and the Sharks are going to get a power play with a chance to take the lead on that ill-advised hit by Kassian. Reimer's out for the extra skater. Thornton to Tierney. And now Dillon offside. And we will get the call on Zach Kassian. Patrick Marleau ties it up, and the Sharks about to go back on the power play.
Boards. Kassian tries to hold up, but doesn't hold up enough. He's not happy about it. But 6'4", 215 pounds, he knocks down DeMello, who was in a compromising situation. And in that situation, if a guy's already there and the puck's coming, it's not like DeMello turned into it. You got to hold up completely. You can't knock a guy even moderately head first into the boards. If you do, the refs are going to call it.
Leon Draisaitl's in the penalty box because someone has to serve Zach Kassian's minor penalty for boarding. He also got a 10-minute misconduct and a game misconduct for those antics afterwards in the penalty box. So Kassian's out for the game. You saw Melker Karlsson back in the game. Needed some repair after a puck in the face earlier in this period off a face-off. So the Sharks are back to a full complement and back on the power play as Talbot will catch this and hang on to it.
Don't show up the referees. Don't embarrass the referees. If you don't like a call, you go up to them. Tell them you don't like it. And then Sharks back on the power play. Quick work. Try and look at Pavelski trying to get Burns coming in back door. And a good job by, is that Talbot? Oh, that was the defenseman. Actually, that's Korpikoski. Playing for Team Finland at the World Cup in the upcoming fall in Toronto.
Marleau wins the face-off back to Burns. Sharks with 2 power play goals already tonight. Looking for a third here. Thornton trying to force it through on a pass. The Darnell Nurse block. Now Seka around for McDavid. And Burns, what a great keep in. Now to Pavelski and Thornton. Pavelski gives it to Burns. Burns has a look back to Thornton. Thornton shoots. Just missed wide. Good look for Joe Thornton. Back to him again. Thornton. Touch pass. Pavelski. Saved by Talbot, no rebound. Boy, Sharks really whipping that puck around on this power play, Jamie.
Yeah, getting the loose pucks and the movement away from the puck and supporting the puck was tremendous. And then it's all skill from there. And the Oilers actually dodge a bullet. See Pavelski's shot, just right shoulder save by Talbot. And a good job not allowing a rebound. Burns doing a good job keeping the puck in a couple of times in the blue line, as you alluded to.
So the first unit creates some opportunities. Now the second power play unit, which has been quite prolific of late out there.
Melker Karlsson back on the ice. I think he took a puck in the face off a face-off. Got some repair, but he's back out there. Good to see.
Cleared down by Pekarainen. Donskoy's been getting some time on this second unit. Right now it's Hurdle with Carlson and Ward. Martin and DeMello back on the points. Donskoy on the bench, Jay?
Looking.
Talbot back for Martin and Ward. And Ward fighting the puck just a little bit.
It's hard for me to see the whole bench right down here at the one end, but I don't think Donskoy's on the bench right now.
Yeah. He was involved in a collision early in this game, and I'm wondering if he may be shaken up. We'll try and get an update from the Sharks. Draisaitl out of the box after serving the minor to Cassian. And his shot trickles into traffic. Taken away by Dillon for the Sharks. Sekera for the Oilers. And he'll clear it back the other way. Overskated by Hall. Leaves it for Draisaitl. Draisaitl for Nurse. Wingles on the back check. Got it away from Darnell Nurse. Roman Polak. And he'll skate past Taylor Hall. And Polak will fire it toward the net. Talbot couldn't glove it. Polak gets to it in the corner. Fame for the Oilers. Couture with a play to keep it in. And now Ward to the loose puck against Yakupov. Leaves it for Couture. Logan to Burns. Saved by Talbot. And a penalty coming up to Ward in front of the net. Going to be goalie interference, I would think. McDavid in front. Maroon scores. On the delayed penalty call, the Oilers take back the lead. Leaves it for Couture with a play to keep it in. And now Ward to the loose puck against Yakupov. Leaves it for Couture. Logan to Burns. Saved by Talbot. And a penalty coming up to Ward in front of the net. Going to be goalie interference, I would think. Late McDavid.
Fourth.
The year Yakupov got the other.
No pressure for Edmonton, so they'll play a wide open game, try and score some goals. And it's tough sometimes to stay structured, but I think San Jose allowed Edmonton back into this in the first 10 minutes. With just, the bottom line is they didn't come out with that same intensity we saw in the first 20.
Everly, and that's wide of the net. But when's the last time the Sharks gave up 4 goals in a period? Like forever ago? Hurdle. He'll scoop it out of trouble for now. And Peter DeBoer and his coaches will have some things to talk about with the group in the intermission, I would think.
Or not. Maybe the leadership core is going to step up.
Let them figure it out.
Sure, Joe Pavelski has a few choice words for the troops.
Here's Wingles on a nice pass from Kearney. Rebound. Talbot gets the pad down on it. And now Martin. And back to Polak as we're inside of 45 seconds left here in the second period.
One thing Edmonton has done this period, they've cleaned up the neutral zone, forcing San Jose to dump it in a lot more. The D have been pinching, and that's because the forwards have been back supporting. So if anything, that was an adjustment Todd McCall and his staff made.
Korpikoski. As Wingles sends it over to Roman Polak. Polak on the rush. They'll work it in. Sharks get a line change. Couture able to keep it in. Osterley in a race with Marlowe. Osterley won the race, but the Sharks get the puck back and in. Under 5. And no time for a chance here. And after coming into the period with a 2-0 lead, the Sharks leave it. No time for a chance. 0 lead. The Sharks leave it down 4-3. Coming up with a Ram intermission. Leave it down 4-3. Coming up with a Ram intermission report. Brody and Curtis standing by in the studio. They'll have an NHL update on this night when 22 teams are playing. Jamie and I will be back here to break down that second period. Has 2 shots tonight. He is closing in on the franchise record held by a forward, Jan.26 had 317 shots the year he won the Rocket Richard Trophy alongside line mate Joe Thornton.
That was the first year after the year-long lockout, and they bunch of rule changes. They added 4 feet to the offensive zone, called a lot of obstruction penalties that year, so their power plays were up because of it. The coaches had not figured out the defensive scheme, so we saw a more offensive game than we did now. So even more impressive the amount of shots Burns is getting in today's game.
The Sharks are without Jonas Donskoy. He did not emerge from the dressing room to start this third period. We are expecting an update. The Oilers without Zach Kassian. He was tossed in that second period for bad behavior after a minor penalty for boarding in misconduct. See what the Sharks bring here to start the third. This play is offside as Pavelski couldn't get his skate back onto the blue line before Justin Braun rushed it in.
No shortage of motivation for the Sharks. You don't have to. That's why I don't even know if Pete DeBoer and his staff had to say anything, and maybe they did. It doesn't matter. Ducks lost in overtime to Toronto. Kings lost in regulation to Winnipeg, their third straight loss. This is an opportunity tonight. I mean, they lost the other night when both the Ducks and Kings they knew that they'd already lost games. They lost 1-0 to St. Louis. They don't want more.
Got one on the later goal, though, by Maroon. So he's still on the score sheet. Couture sends it up to center ice. Segura back for the Oilers. And Justin Braun will send it across for Dylan DeMello. So DeBoer has some line juggling to continue to do here in the third without Donskoy. And the word from the Sharks is that Donskoy is being evaluated, is questionable to return tonight.
Heard that before.
Injuries starting to hit the Sharks here late in their season.
Concerning. Classic already out. And now Donskoy don't have any inclination of what it is or why. We just got to hope that it's precautionary and not bad.
Spalling. And now Brent Burns. Sent in by Tierney.
You know, Randy, we're seeing more injuries around the NHL. Just the schedule post-All-Star break is very grueling. Even like a team like Colorado. McKinnon and Duchesne both out. Really expected back maybe this weekend, but they're trying to make it into the playoffs, fighting Minnesota for the last spot. Those are two key guys there.
They play Saturday night, those two teams. Not sure if either of those return for that game. Talk about huge games. Shot there by Pavelski, had a chance, but Talbot kicks it away. Colorado, the game ends.
Yeah. Chicago drops down 2-1.
You go from, we want to win the division. No, maybe we don't want to win the division.
No, we'll let LA and Chicago go out in round one. 5 of the last 6 Stanley Cups in round one. Wouldn't that be something?
Korpikoski sends it in. And good hustle there by the Oilers. Eero Pakarinen avoided an icing call. As Talbot sends it along the boards for Taylor Hall. Draisaitl slips it into the corner. He'll get after it. Braun's there for the Sharks. Stolen by Yakubov. Braun spins him around. Hall for the Oilers. To Griffin Reinhart. Knocked down by Reimer. Reinhart bidding for his first NHL goal. A couple of guys on this Oiler roster tonight in the lineup that haven't scored. Reinhart, Osterley. Maroon, he scored tonight, and it's saved by Reimer, clear to the near boards. McDavid gets it back for Darnell Nurse. That's kicked out by Reimer. Straight to Joe Thornton. He'll give to Pavelski. Sharks change on the fly as Pavelski gains the zone. Leaves it for Thornton. Thornton fakes a pass to Burns. Plays it to the net. Pavelski, and that was blocked, I believe, by Darnell Nurse. Sharks looking for that tying goal here in the third. It's Burns, and his shot blocked by McDavid. Quick backhand pass up the ice intended for McDavid from Clendening. Goes for quick backhand pass pass up the ice intended for McDavid from Clendening goes for icing.
The Sharks were on a 2-on-4 because they were on a change. It was Pavelski and Thornton. In that last zone entry, and you see the one winger now. Look at the 4 guys back.
0% vertical score.
I talked about the gap control in the second period. It was a little soft there for Edmonton, and they allow Pavelski, Thornton. You give them a bit of time entering the offensive zone, you're going to get some chances, and that's exactly what happened. Not sure why one or both of the D didn't stand up on them because they had 2 back checkers with them.
Volume increased. E-R-G.
Couture, and that one hit Wiggles in front of the net, tries to wrap it around on Talbot, who has his post.
Arena. Sound.
Marlowe,
YouTube.
he'll get it loose.
Live tab. This
And it went
Discover our
all the way through to the boards, taken back by Patrick Maroon, and he'll send it in for a line change.
menu button. Heading level 3. Goals for the
22-17, the shots favoring the Sharks here in the third period.
True match foundation.
Under 5 minutes into the play. Smalling fights off Letestu, gets it to Burns. He sent it in the direction of Tierney, where it was intercepted by Sekera. Now Tierney back for Carlson, and he'll muscle it in.
0% vertical score.
Smalling for Tierney. A no-look up the ice pass for DeMello that he couldn't handle, and he plays back intentionally to Reimer.
Address still living. And look. Image magnifying the finished look.
Draisaitl took it away from DeMello.
Search combo. Search combo.
DeMello falls. Here's Yakupov. Taylor Hall now.
0-1.
Just looking tentative.
Space. F. 2006-2017.
Draisaitl. And now Hall. And we've got a whistle as Reimer's mask is off his head.
Well, part of the reason they look tentative.
Mask is off his head.
Joe 100.
Got a whistle.
The reason they look tentative, Randy, is because Edmonton's got more tempo to their game. Once they got in it, they look tentative, Randy, is because Edmonton's got more tempo to their game. Well, part of the reason
Reimer's mask and that.
Well, part of the reason they look tentative, Randy, is because Edmonton's got more tempo to their game. Once they got in it early in the second period, they're like, you know, the worry hope. They gave him hope. Keep an eye on Reimer. And he ends up dead. So obviously, I didn't see what happened prior to it, but a quick head shake isn't going to take your helmet off. So one of the straps must have already been loose, obviously.
It's the brand new paint job on Reimer's new Sharks mask. That has been a winning paint job up till now.
And it looks like he's battery.
Draisaitl. And now Hall. And we've got a whistle. Mask is off his head.
What a goal by Patrick Maroon.
Well, part of the reason they look tentative, Randy, is because Edmonton's got. Well, part of the reason they look tentative, Randy, is because Edmonton's got more tempo to their game. Once they got in it early in the second period, they're like, you know, the worry hope. They gave him hope. Keep an eye on Reimer. And he ends up dead. So obviously, I didn't see what happened prior to it, but a quick head shake isn't going to take your helmet off. So one of the straps must have already been loose, obviously.
It's the brand new paint job on Reimer's new Sharks mask. That has been a winning paint job up till now.
73 points.
And it looks like he's going to need a little equipment repair. James Reimer.
And while they attend to that, I want to remind you that to commemorate the 25th anniversary, funds will have the great opportunity to bring the family 1 p.m. face-off here, and we'll have the game on.
Going to stay on. That's exactly. Forecheck, go from there.
Here's Everly coming off the board, shoots, blocked in front. Loose puck shot just wide. McDavid trying to jam it in, but Reimer got his skate up against the post. That was a mad scramble.
Really, 3-point night.
And you can see the peel off right off the sideboards, attacking the net, and then McDavid tries to just jam it home short side. I think he even tried to bank it in off of Reimer. There's a nice look from the overhead camera. No, actually, it just came off the backboards. That's an alert play by Reimer.
If you've joined us partway through our telecast, the Sharks had a 2-0 lead after the first period in this game. We had a scrap between Haley and Nurse, which was the settling of what carried over from the last game when Darnell Nurse attacked Roman Polak.
The shots were 12-4 in favor of the Sharks after one. Yep. They had a 2-0 lead. They were in full command of this game.
Yep. And it got away. Edmonton came back in the second period, scored 3 unanswered, including 2 in 45 seconds. Ended up outscoring the Sharks 4-1 in the second period.
Give them credit, Edmonton. They didn't quit.
16 right. It was 3-1. Pakarinen and a save by Reimer. Hansel with a pair of that. It ended up step into the corner with Pakarinen. And the Oilers get it down low, but angling across is Polak, and he'll skate it out to center and fire it into the Oilers zone. One and done on that entry for the Sharks. Back in from Polak, and now the Sharks will change up. Korpikoski. And Letestu over to Sakara. Justin Braun at center, and Yakupov almost got it away as Braun fell. Good knockdown by Draisaitl on a pass from Braun. Then the shot blocked by DeMello. Spaulding with some speed for Carlson. He couldn't catch it, and that allows Darnell Nurse to clean it up. Again, we're pretty deep into the period. The Sharks have only one to be a part of all the goals. The push to the playoffs is on. Be a part of all the excitement with a 3-game pick pack. You choose the 3 games to fit your schedule. You get guaranteed access to playoff tickets as part of a priority playoff presale, all for as low as $30 per game. Go to sjsharks.com/tickets for more information.
Oilers forwards are doing a good job of coming back, helping out the defense. San Jose needs to get better control in the offensive zone when the puck is there, whether it's on dump-ins.
Burns a shot. Now Thornton gets it away from McDavid. Joe up the middle. Joe on his backhand. And Talbot got a piece of it. Now Pavelski back for Paul Martin. And he left it on the boards. Yakupov takes it for Edmonton and lobs it out of danger. Puck out of play over the near side glass. Sharks hockey play with 12:11 left to go in the third. We'll be right back. Watch Sharks hockey all season long and watch every week for your chance to win a different collector's edition poster. This week, the Sharks face the Stars in a special afternoon edition of Saturday Night on Ice. Pre-game live starts at 12:30 in the afternoon on Saturday here on CSN California.
It's going to turn out to be a good game against the now motivated Dallas Stars team who lost to Arizona. These teams that are out of the playoff race is dangerous, especially in the last 5-10 games. They're going to empty the tanks.
Marlowe, and he just shot it wide. Back to him behind the net. Ward, and his stick tied up by Maroon, as Everly will come back the other way. Star Wars night at SAP Center, and right now the Sharks need the Force to be with them, down 4-3 here. Everly, Reinhart for McDavid behind the Sharks net. Connor McDavid going to work against Burns. That pops right out front. Fane had it, fell, got back up to Maroon and back to McDavid. Now Eberle. McDavid takes it. Just shakes off Paul Martin. Power move up the wing. Now a shot. That was blocked in front of Reimer. Back to Eberle. His shot blocked. But Edmonton dictating the pace here. And Burns will finally get it clear, and the Sharks will get a line change.
Yeah, the Sharks on the run there in the defensive zone. Sharks defensive zone.
Slapped in by Letestu. Here's Wingles, who has a goal tonight. His seventh. It was the first goal of the game. That was followed by a power play goal by Pavelski. And the Sharks were in good shape after a period up 2-0. It unraveled in the second. Still time to get it back here. Down by a goal. 10.5 to go. As Pollock gets center ice and fires it in. Tierney trying to go back to Carlson in the corner. Wingles gives it to Tierney, and he's put down by Korpikoski. Wingles comes across, checks Korpikoski, but the job done by Edmonton. They clear the zone.
San Jose just getting outnumbered down in the corners in Edmonton's zone, and because forwards are having a tough time trying to get the puck back to the D to get that low to high play and then get to the front of the net for those screens tip rebound opportunities. Credit the Oilers playing a strong game right now.
Now Thornton. Back for Pollock. Yakupov in on the forecheck. Thornton at center, it's Pavelski. Comes in with Hurdle. Pavelski. Pass for Hurdle. Went up a skate. Hurdle a backhand to the net's off.
Yeah, it's getting up. It's right play. His thinking, his speed. Really impresses the offensive.
Only to Mello. Braun to Mello. And Tomas Hurdle now for the Sharks, who are desperate for a goal. Can't get it centered. Letestu broken up. DeMello kept it in for a moment, but now Sakurai will send it back deep into San Jose territory.
Well, that shift is a start, something to build on. Almost the entire shift spent in the offensive zone.
Sharks are being outshot 6-1 in this period, as Clendenning gives it up to Couture on the boards, and he whipped it just wide. Burns has it cleared away by McDavid. Through the middle and down the ice. Icing here against the Sharks with 8:20 on the game clock.
We've seen some different line combinations, and we'll find the status out either after the game or tomorrow about Jonas Donskoi. Obviously, there's some concern, but right now Logan Couture out there as the center. He's got Marleau on one side, Tommy Wingles on the other. That line has been intact for most of this period. People are being forced to change up his lines with only 11 forwards, and he might juggle them even some more down the stretch here.
Sharks already without Marc-Edouard Vlasic and Matt Nieto. And now Donskoi leaving this game with an unknown injury at this point. Draisaitl. He stumbles trying to move that puck against Martin. Kept in by
Stretch. It's been entire
game clock. Through the middle and down the ice. Through the middle and down the ice. Icing here against the Sharks with 8:20 on the game clock.
We've seen some different line combinations, and we'll find the status out either after the game or tomorrow. But Jonas Donskoi, obviously, there's some. We'll find the status out either after the game or tomorrow.
0%
We've seen some different line combinations, and we'll find the status out either after the game or tomorrow. But Jonas Donskoi, obviously, there's some concern, but right now Logan Couture out there as the center. He's got Marleau on one side, Tommy Wingles on the other. That line has been intact for most of this period. People are being forced to change up his lines with only 11 forwards, and inside Tommy Wingles on the other. That line has been intact for most of this period. People are being forced to change up his lines with only 11 forwards, and he might juggle them even some more down the stretch here.
Sure.
People are being forced to change up his lines with only 11 forwards. And we're having being forced to change up his lines with only 11 forwards, and he might juggle him even some more down on the stretch here. Change up his lines with only 11 forwards, and we're having juggle.
Nieto. And now Donskoy leaving already without Mark-Edouard Vlasic and Matt Nieto. And now Donskoy leaving this game with an unknown injury at this point. He stumped. Draisaitl. He stumbles trying to move that puck against Martin. Kept in by Edmonton at the point. Back down to big Leon Draisaitl. Couture. And the Oilers able to keep it in. Taylor Hall for Draisaitl. And now Marleau gets it away. Been defending for a while, though. He needs a rest. Here's McDavid. Self-chip off the boards to Connor McDavid. Save by Weber. There's the world-class speed of Connor McDavid. Nice move here. Brings it around the net. To Everly. He'll hand it for Sekera. His shot blocked. Everly scores on the rebound. Brings it around the net. To Everly. He'll hand it for Sekera. His shot blocked. Everly scores on the rebound. Speed of Connor McDavid. Nice move here. Brings it around the net. To Everly. He'll hand it for Sekera. His shot blocked. Everly scores. Nice move here. Brings it around
With Marin.
5 of the last 6 goals in this game.
Right there. Sticky.
Efforts, it wouldn't have happened. Everly will get it from Maroon and Sekera. Here's Pavelski, and that's blocked by the diving Clendenning. Thornton on the far side wanted to lead to the point, but the Sharks were changing up defensively.
Going to the All-Star game.
Burns, and now Hurdle, and offside.
Well, you mentioned Connor McDavid doesn't get an assist. But watch this play right here. A little soft chip to himself, and off he goes. People talk about why he's so good, why they talk about him so much. You just saw it right there. When he ends up getting the puck, a little inside-out move on Braun. That is not easy to do. It comes around to Mello and then ends up feeding it up to Everly. They scored about 5-6 seconds after that.
Well, depending on how you look at it as a Sharks fan, Jamie, you get to see him a lot because he's in your division. So, fun to watch a talent like that. Tough to win against him consistently.
Defensemen when we were last time we were in Calgary, Giordano and TJ Brody were asked the toughest player in the league to defend against. They said Connor McDavid. As a rookie, I don't know. The last 2 times the only other 2 times I've ever heard that were Gretzky and Lemieux.
Kicked in from center by Marleau. Carlson has a step on Reinhart, leaves it back for Patrick. Shot from the blue line, blocked. Diving is Carlson to try and keep it alive, but he can't. And you've got Johnny Gaudreau in Calgary. It's going to be a spicy battle of Alberta once the Oilers get a little better.
These guys are going to be better next year. I wouldn't be surprised if they push for a playoff spot. Watch out 2, 3, 4 years from now.
They need a couple of defensemen for sure.
And they're building. They got some young guys that they're taking a look at. I've been impressed. Clendenning's had a good game tonight. Nurse, he's young. He's 21 years old. He's a keeper for them.
Depending on where they pick, this might be the year they trade their pick to get an established NHL defenseman.
Trade a pick, or maybe you see Nugent Hopkins, Everly. You already mentioned Yakupov. Even Hall, if you could get, depending on what you get in return.
Here is Hall. And now Pavelski trying to break into the Oilers zone, stopped at the line. Now it's Thornton. Shot by DeMello, and that's high.
Clock now an issue for the Sharks. Only 4 minutes. They need 2 goals, and Bottom line is, they haven't mustered many chances yet this period, so.
One shot.
Yeah.
There's a second by Burns. Rebound cleared, though. And icing against the Oilers.
20.
That game and 2-0. And they've battled back in a huge way in this game. But right now, have a chance to split the season series with the Sharks. Couture at center in for Marlowe. Now Ward with a steal. And he'll come in. And as he turns, he lost his footing and lost the puck. Here's a steal. Bukowski trying to set up a teammate in front. Spalling will get it into the Oilers zone, but Sekera has the puck and he has room. A hit on the near side, and down goes Pekarainen. And we've got a penalty for boarding to the Sharks. And it's the first minor penalty of the game, but it comes at an inopportune time. Edmonton on the power play when we come back. 8 goals. Here they are. Sharks first period. Shot from Rowan Pollock. Tipped by Wingels. 1-0. Then on a power play. Pavelski's 35th. Sharks with a 2-0 lead. Then in the second, Edmonton comes back. Korpikoski, a tip in front. Then Taylor Hall off the boards. Ties the game. But there's more. Adam Clendenning finds a lane and scores. Oilers with their first lead. Then Taylor Hall off the boards. Ties the game. But there's more. Adam Clendenning finds a lane and scores. Oilers with their first lead. Marlowe ties it back up to the power play. And then the go-ahead. Marlowe ties it back up on the power play. And then the go-ahead goal by Maroon. Play. And then the go-ahead goal by Maroon. Giving the Oilers a lead. They haven't sorted it. In fact, adding on it there with a few minutes ago, and it's 5-3 Oilers with 2:52 to go. And the worst news is that Melker Karlsson's off for boarding, so the Sharks are going to have to kill a penalty hill here, and that kind of takes the option out of Peter DeBoer's hand, or at least changes his mind about pulling Reimer here, because it would only get into even strength.
Yeah, the Sharks started digging holes for themselves in the second period, and they just dug themselves a ditch.
So unless magic happens here in the next 2.5 minutes, the Sharks will lose a second straight game on home ice. And not the one you thought they would have lost, especially with a 2-0 lead. Talbot drops it back for Taylor Hall. Regroup and get ready for Dallas on Saturday afternoon, and that will be no easy game. The high-flying Stars, even without Tyler Seguin, they've been taking care of business.
Jason Demers also injured, and it's almost like it's forced all their players, and their forwards in particular, really focus on a team defensive game. They waxed Chicago earlier this week in Chicago. It doesn't get easier. You got LA Monday night, and then the Sharks travel and play in Vancouver on Tuesday. So
McDavid for the Oilers. Nurse back across Eberle, and he shot it high. Oilers just playing keep away here on the power play. It's all they really need to do at this point with a 2-goal lead. As we come up on a minute left in this one. Couture trying to get it away and down the ice from Eberle. Now Maroon. Clendenning. That's off the boards wide. Eberle up against Karlsson. Here he is out of the box. Fires it down the ice. And now Reimer is out with 40 seconds to go. Marlowe. He'll run it around hard. Burns after it on the near boards. Checked by Korpikoski. Now Marlowe in front, trying to stuff it home. But Cam...
That's it. More like... No. In the Pacific, to make that times 10. I mean, and a bit to ring through.
And they'll make a big deal of their last ever game at Rexall as they'll move to the new rink for next season. Taylor Hall will score into the empty net. And this one will end up a 6-3 game.
4-1.
And they'll make a big deal of their last ever. Do it in 2 inches. Come into San Jose.
That's frustration.
Of 6.
Taylor Hall. That's frustration.
Assisted by number 2, Andre Segura, and number 29,
That'll do it. The Edmonton Oilers come into San Jose and win it by a final score of 6-3. And this season series ends up and win it by a final score of 6-3. And this season series and win it by a final score of 6-3. And this season series ends up all tied at 2 wins apiece. Taylor Hall with 2 goals for the Oilers.
Pedro with 3 goals for the Oilers.
Taylor Hall with 2 goals for the Oilers.
3 goals.
And the Sharks miss an opportunity to wrap up a playoff spot as Arizona also won tonight. That's going to do it for us here in San Jose. The final score.
The final score.